In the heart of the Atlantic, a legend whispers from the deep blue, a triangle of shadows where maps fail and logic vanishes. Compasses spin wildly, lost in an invisible magnetic storm. For centuries, warning signs have been ignored by the brave. Pilots fly into clouds that feel like the end of the world. Suddenly, the radar blinks, and a soul is gone forever. An electronic fog rises, thick, green, and heavy with secrets. Even ancient wood couldn't survive these swirling, dark waters. We find yachts floating empty, dinner still warm on the table. Time breaks here. Seconds turn to hours, and clocks run back. From the sky, you can see dark shapes hiding under the waves. Radio towers pick up ghostly voices from decades ago. Dials spark and burn as the energy of the triangle takes hold. On Florida's coast, strange lights dance across the midnight sky. An anchor on the seabed, a heavy monument to a lost journey. Even the birds fly in strange patterns, as if the air itself is broken. Lighthouses cut through purple mist, leading ships to nowhere. Ghostly sailors walk the decks of ships that no longer exist. In the black trenches, a single light glows from the abyss. As the sun sets, we ask, what is truly hidden in this water? The history of blood begins with the steel ships of old wars. Flight 19, 5 bombers that flew into the pages of mystery. They left no oil, no wings, only a haunting silence in the air. The newspapers could only say, vanished without a trace. Today, coral grows where heroes once breathed their last. In the cold hangar, the pilots felt the weight of their fate. The sea looked like a dream, but it was a watery grave. Everything is wrong, the pilot cried before the static took over. The USS Cyclops, a giant of iron, swallowed by the calm sea. Even the rescue planes burst into fire, falling like stars. Back home, officers stared at maps that made no sense. The telegraph clicked its last SOS into the dark night. A lone helmet on the sand, the only proof they ever existed. A blue glow illuminates the cockpits of the sunken ghosts. High-speed winds break steel wings like they are made of glass. In 1920, searchers looked until their eyes could see no more. Position unknown, the final words of a crew lost in time. Columbus saw it first, the fire dancing on the ocean waves. The captain's log ends abruptly. The ink still wet, the man gone. Steam rises from the water where a ship used to stand tall. The radar towers of the 60s stood tall, watching the fog. A ghost ship sails without a crew, its sails tattered by time. Smiling faces in old photos, now just memories in the mist. Encrusted gold coins tell stories of riches lost to the sand. A trembling hand hits the Morse key one last time. A massive shadow moves under a small boat, larger than life. The airfield runway light flickers, waiting for planes that won't return. An empty lifeboat drifts under the moon, a hollow shell. The captain looks through his glass, seeing a fog that isn't real. A rusty propeller sits in a museum, a silent piece of the puzzle. Down in the dark, a blue portal opens to another world. Metallic UFOs hover silently, lighting up the coral reefs. Ancient pyramids lie hidden, glowing with a forgotten power. Ships are pulled into rifts in the sky, defying every law of gravity. Translucent ghosts of sailors walk upon the liquid mirror. An underwater city of glass domes glimmers in the abyss. A rift in the sky reveals stars from a distant galaxy. A beam of light pulls a boat upwards, into the silver clouds. Alien tech sits in tropical caves, waiting to be discovered. The Kraken's eye opens, a giant watching from the silt. A diver touches a crystal and feels the pulse of the earth. Geometric shapes float in the air, silent and unmoving. A pilot looks out to see a silver disk matching his speed. Energy waves flow like purple ribbons across the horizon. A modern sailor meets a ghost from the 16th century. Alien symbols are etched into the stone walls of the deep. The sky swirls like a whirlpool, gravity losing its grip. Electronic fog surrounds the plane, turning the world white. Scientists analyze a rock that shouldn't exist on this planet. A bridge of light leads into a hole that has no bottom. Massive bubbles erupt, stealing the buoyancy of the sea. A tanker tilts and slides into a hole made of gas. The Gulf Stream moves like a hot river through the cold blue. A rogue wave, 100 feet tall, humbles the largest ships. We visualize the magnetic lines that pull on every compass. Honeycomb clouds form a roof over the triangle's heart. Volcanoes fire red lava into the cooling depths of the sea. Metal becomes magnetic, pulling tools to the ship's walls. Methane hydrates sleep in the sand, waiting to wake up. Purple lightning strikes the waves, a dance of pure energy. A child's shoe floats, a heartbreaking sign of a life cut short. Families wait at the pier, their eyes fixed on the empty line. A dusty radio station waits for a signal that will never come. SOS is carved into the sand, but the tide is coming in. A hand lets go of the radio, sinking into the dark water. A mother holds a photo, her heart broken by the ocean. Searchlights cut the rain, looking for a ghost in the storm. A life jacket floats alone, a name printed on its side. A plane door lies on the rocks, twisted and torn apart. The pilot's diary ends. The water, it looks strange. A skeleton in an old suit rests in the silent coral garden. The sonar screen shows a shadow that shouldn't be there. A reporter stands in the wind, telling a story with no end. Posters of the missing line the walls of a forgotten office. In the lab, we test the sand for traces of the unknown. A diver finds a watch. It's still ticking after 50 years. A whirlpool spins, a doorway to the center of the earth. Computers simulate the tragedy of a ship lost to gas. A researcher sits in the dark, lost in the pages of mystery. A ghost ship sails through the moon's silver path. Modern ships use sonar to map the secrets of the bottom. We look at 3D maps of a world we were never meant to see. Robots explore caves where no human can ever go. The sun sets, painting the mystery in shades of gold. Planes fly safely today, but the fear remains in the air. A diver surfaces, holding a piece of a forgotten world. Bubbles rise from the deep, a sign of the ocean breathing. Satellites watch from space, tracking the pulse of the sea. A cruise ship passes through, unaware of the ghosts below. The modern compass points true, but for how long? Submarines dive into the abyss, lights cutting the dark. In the control room, we watch the ocean's every move. The Atlantic is calm now, hiding its teeth behind a smile. The end is carved in stone, buried under miles of water. Our journey into the triangle comes to a close for now. Subscribe to join us on our next hunt for the truth. We remember the lost, those who sailed into the mist. The explorer looks out, knowing the sea still has secrets. We close the book on these mysteries, but the questions live on. The water fades to black. The triangle is waiting.